Hello and welcome to today's trading session. We're looking at the Dax and Ftse, looking for the open at the market in about 5 minutes. And basically for the next sort of couple of minutes, I just want to run through the overlay of the Dax. So basically what we're going to do is have a quick look at the overall structure. We're going to look at some pre-market analysis quickly, and then we're going to watch the open. I'm going to explain my thoughts on what's happening with the market and where I would consider getting in and potentially exiting and looking for targets. So let's get into it. We've got a DAX daily chart. This is ME Broker here. So this is the software that I use to get my end of day data to then create these levels each day using a script. Now we can see on the daily, we're hitting a bit of green candles just outside this Bollinger Band, which indicates to me that we could be looking for some buying action after some serious sell-off. I did mention we tapped outside the Bollinger Band up here, and swing traders might be looking for shorts within a day or two. We took some heavy hits, some of the biggest sort of hits we've seen in some time. We'll chuck it on a weekly just to see what that looks like as well. So a couple of weeks ago, we came out to the top. Last week was a drastic fall down after breaching that weekly upper Bollinger Band. Now, what I might expect is for the market to even come down and touch the lower Bollinger Band first before turning back around. But as you can see in this section here, it kind of didn't need to reach all the way back down before we had a couple of green days. So today on the DAX, ideally looking for long positions, just being aware that the market could still go down further. Jumping over to the Ftse, we've got a couple of minutes before the open. I'll quickly run through this. We've kind of hit the lower, hit the upper, come down, almost got the lower there. And if we have quite a positive day today, it could sort of set us in an upward motion, which would be ideal. Now on the weekly, we've actually come down and touched below the Bollinger Band. And as you can see back here, the market really rallied once it touched outside. So if we can get a bit of momentum on the daily, it would be really positive on the Ftse. So I'm just going to pop that back on the daily, and I'm going to expand this and put it on both the DAX and the Ftse. Now, I'll move that in a little bit so we can see the pricing. We have 1 minute until the market opens, and the DAX has kind of touched this S1, which is not a bad spot to get in potentially. You're looking at about 80 points to the close gap, so often we're targeting the close, or if we opened outside of the low, below the low, that could also act as a target similar to the grey line. But this grey line here, the close, is going to be the target if we see some buying action straight away. Alternatively, might see a sort of a fake out to push us down. We'll have a look at the structure. Even if we came down and tapped the low. Now, we've got 5 seconds to open, looking for a buy on the Ftse. I've hit buy. It's going straight down, which is not the best sign. Often we'll get a bit of a fake out, take out some of this below activity, maybe even touch the low. Anything below the low, I wouldn't want to participate in any further. So we'll just see how it plays out. And I'm going to put the target just below the close. And I wonder if the DAX is going to do something similar. Ideally, we'll see it come down, tap this kind of pricing structure here first. Because the DAX is a little bit more volatile, I don't really want to get in too early. So we'll watch this play out. Hopefully the FTSE will react. It's kind of hovering. There's always that chance that it'll accept below this level and then continue downwards. Just want to zoom in on the DAX. Ideally, we'll see a bit more of a push down to touch a particular level. It's not really happening just yet, but we can see over here the FTSE's kind of broken outside of this structure and heading towards that close gap. So that's a great sign. We want the initial buying condition, so all the orders are coming into the market. It's going to push the price up with a bit of force, which is happening right now. We can see it. It's kind of happening on the DAX a little bit as well. Just going to pull a stop loss down and put it to break even just so we're safe. We can literally just let that run now if we wanted to. The DAX, we're just kind of watching it play out. Nothing too exciting happening just yet. Now, we really want this to kind of get a bit of force and go up to that close gap. Otherwise, it might drift back down and just clip our stop loss. We've probably brought it in a little bit too early, but I don't like sitting on trades for too long. So we're just watching the market do its thing. It's the great thing about trading is you make these decisions, and a lot of it's just about patience. And if you want to watch, you can watch. If you don't want to watch, you can go and do something else, provided your stop losses and take profits are in a good position. Now we are seeing that reaction. We did tap the Bollinger Band on the DAX, but it wasn't really convincing me to get long. However, the FTSE was setting up quite nicely. It's a little bit less volatile. And to be honest, I'm probably going to close that trade there on the FTSE. It's coming up close to the pivot. We might see a reaction here, and we've got all this pricing structure here too. So I'm out of that trade. That's about 0.5%, which I'm pretty happy with. And that's me done for the day. Potentially traders might be looking a little bit longer term, potentially wanting to get long on the DAX. It's not that convincing. We've had the reaction on the FTSE, and we're kind of just hoping that the DAX goes up a bit higher, but there is every chance that the DAX may just fall down. So I'm not convinced. The FTSE had the reaction. That's the one we traded, and we made some money. So I'm pretty happy with that for the day. Obviously, guys, take care when you're trading. The market can always go the opposite direction of what you think it's going, and keeping consistent risk and measuring your data is probably the most important thing with becoming a professional trader long term, because you can understand and know how you trade, what results you can expect. And we've got the market pushing up nicely now. I wonder if we will hit this close target or if it'll reject off this pricing structure. It'd be interesting to see. Now for the DAX, let's say we got in, it's only about 20 points. Now on the DAX, we had a swing down of about 30 points. Let's say we got in at this marker. You really want to see it get up a bit higher. But measuring your data is really important because it helps you understand everything about your own trading, and it can help you filter times that don't work for you. It can help you filter markets that don't work for you. It can really reduce your workload and increase your earnings simply by looking at the data and stop trading when it's not appropriate. For example, I know that if I trade beyond the first sort of 5 or 10 minutes of the market open, the time that I'm spending isn't really adding to the profits that I'm earning. So I'm better off and actually earning more by only watching the first sort of 2 to 5 minutes of the market and then walking away and going about the rest of my day. That's it from me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Obviously, you can watch the market play out and see if it hits the targets or goes the other direction. As always, guys, this isn't financial advice. It's just a hobby channel helping people understand a bit about the markets and how they kind of operate. So that's it from me, guys. Enjoy your day.